Hey guys, welcome back to Getting It Done Fishing, helping bank anglers become better bass anglers. And today we're talking about the Texas rig. Yes sir, the Texas rig. You know, we're always talking about presentation. And I'm gonna go through a Texas rig. Now, a basic Texas rig, you just have a bullet weight, you put it on. I'm using a 10-inch power worm. You can use a tequila sunrise, creature baits, but this video is more about presentation. It's all about understanding bass behavior. The strike zone, is it big, is it small? Reading the conditions and then picking the right presentation for those conditions. And the Texas rig is one of those things that us as bank anglers really need in the bag. I'm gonna go through each presentation and when you should use each presentation. And that's the key to it. You know, we talked about the swim jig, the versatility of the swim jig. Texas rig is just as good. You can do so much stuff with the Texas rig. And let's just jump right into it. Again, big old Texas rig with a big old 10-inch worm. And the first one we're gonna do is just a drag. We're gonna cast it out there and just gonna drag it. It's just dragging it on the bottom. So all we're doing is working the bottom. And that presentation is all about summertime, the heat. We're slowing it down, we're just gonna drag it, bring the slack in, drag it. We're paying attention to our line. We're always watching the line. Especially in this type of heat, the bass will just grab it and they'll move a little bit. So when you drag and feel that little nudge, bring your rod tip back, bring that slack in and set the hook. So that's the first one we're gonna go through, is just a drag. Let's go, let's get it done today. Again, this retrieval is all about summertime, bluebird skies. Just gonna cast it out there. I typically like to wait a couple seconds on all my presentations with a Texas rig. We're just gonna keep it out there. Now I'm just gonna drag it. Bring my slack in. Now I'm just gonna drag it. Now, based on the bank you're fishing and the space you have, I'm going left. If I had to go right, I would probably go right. That's my preferred location or my drag. But I don't want to lift the rod tip up. Rod tip's down by my hip, and I'm just gonna drag it. Just dragging it. Bring my rod tip back. I'll show it again. So my slack, it's gonna drag it. It's gonna go off to my left. I'm going off to the left because that's the space I have. Now it's gonna go back to the middle, bring back that slack, wait a few seconds, give it time to bass to inspect. And I'm gonna go back to the same thing, just dragging it. Hit some hydrilla, do some hydrilla. Just dragging it. You start to feel what's on the bottom. One thing I love about the drag is you really get to understand what's on the bottom. You really understand the grass, vegetation, undulations. You can start to really feel, you get really honed into what the bottom is. Is it mud? Is it muck? Is it rock? Is it sand? Really the key to understanding a pond. The majority of the times, you're gonna get that strike when you bring in that, you're gonna get that hit. You're bringing that rod tip back, you're bringing that slack. Again, you're giving that time for bass to inspect, comes, hits it, and you're like, boom, son. Just dragging it on the bottom. Now we're gonna talk about the hop. Just gonna bring that rod tip up. We're just gonna hop it. This is where the bass are a little bit more active, willing to chase a little bit more. Cloudy days, right before a storm. That's where you really want to start to use the hop. The drag is more bluebird skies. Strike zone smaller. You're keeping it in that strike zone. You're dragging it through that strike zone and you're letting it sit. This hop is when they're willing to chase a little bit more. So again, we're just gonna cast that out there. Let it sit on the bottom. I always like to wait about 5 to 10 seconds after I cast it, because you get a lot of times when that worm's coming down, or whatever bait you're using on a Texas rig, it's coming down, bass it, you're just right in there, right in their face, son, and you're like, boom, and they'll hit it. So all I'm gonna do is, again, I want that rod tip down by my hip, and all I'm just gonna do is just pop it, just bring it up. Again, there's a bunch of hydrilla. Let it sit. This hydrilla. Let it sit. Just let it sit. I don't want to go boom, 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 hop, pop it up. I could feel it. Hydrilla, goes through the hydrilla. Or if you don't have vegetation, you can just feel it coming up, let it drop. Then once it comes back drop, I bring the rod tip back down towards my hip, wait a few seconds, and I'm just gonna repeat that. Just brings it up, that tail's working. If you're using a pit boss or a creature bait, that tail's working, it's coming down, gives that natural presentation. This is also great, these presentations are awesome in pressured ponds. You're letting those bass inspect it, giving them time, easy eats. Bring it up, bring it down. You don't want to start to bring it up when my rod tip's up here and bring it up. The rod tip's down by my hip. I'm just going to bring it up. The next presentation we're going to talk about is shaking it. We're not going to move it, we're just going to shake it. This is all about knowing the strike zone. Maybe you caught a bass on a faster mover lure and you know you're fishing very specific structure or a very specific location. It's going to cast it out there, we're just going to shake it and that strike zone. Maybe I caught one there at top water, maybe a chatterbait, crankbait. When you catch one, there's always more. I'm going to bring in my slack. I just want to shake it. I just want to shake it. Just shaking it. I can feel it, and I'm just shaking it. I'm just shaking it. You get that bait that you're using moving, it's just shaking right in place. It's in that strike zone. You're giving them time to inspect it. You're gonna agitate them. They're gonna get mad. They'll come up and just grab it. But just shake it, just shaking it. It's almost like a shaky head. You're just shaking it. Just making that movement. That tail's moving. Making movement in the water. Very specific strike zone. Now again, I don't want to do the shake this all the way into the shore. It's very specific structure, like laydowns, vegetation, you know, drop-offs, undulations on the bottom, or just areas that you know where the bass are. And I'm just shaking it and bringing my slack, and I'm just shaking it. And I can feel that bullet weight. I can feel it. I can just feel it. I'm just tapping it. It's up and down, making commotion on down at the bottom, telling the bass there's something there. Telling, hey, I'm ready to be eaten. Yes, sir. That's how you do it, son. That's how you do it. Just shaking. All right, that's the shake. The next one, we're going to do a drag, pause, hop, drag, pause, hop, pause, drag. So it's a combination of the drag and hop. This presentation is all about when you want bass to inspect, give them a little bit more time. Bluebird skies, pressured ponds, really high pressured ponds. I'm just gonna pick it up. All right, I know I'm on the bottom. Now I'm just gonna drag it. Dragging it. I'm gonna bring it. Now I'm gonna add a hop to it. Waiting. Just hop it. Easy eats. This presentation is all about easy eats, giving the bass easy eats, slowing it down, giving them time to inspect. Wait. Pause. Bring it up. Pause. Drag. Hydrilla. Pop it. When you especially use like lily pads or like vegetation, when that's going through and you're banging it up and you're ripping it, kind of ripping it out. I'm really not ripping it out, just kind of dragging it out or just kind of hopping it out. That will get you a lot of strikes. A lot of times you need to use that drag and hop to get out a hydrilla. You don't really want to go whip it out. Just drag. And you can control how much you drag. Just one of those little small drags, just could drag it a little bit, pop it. Drag it a little bit, and then just bring that slack in, pop it. Just drag it, and we're gonna pop it. The last retrieval is really, I don't really hear a lot of people talk about. But it can be really, really effective. I mean, really, really effective. See, in the fall time when they're really feeding and they're really fattening up for the winter time, or they're really chasing before the storm, cloudy days. Wait till it hits the bottom. It's just a nice slow retrieval. Now I'm using a worm, so I know my tail will be moving. And I'm just gonna bring that in and kind of go through it. Slowly bringing that in. Still working the bottom. Still working through vegetation, still working through the strike zone. You know, if they're chasing a little bit more and that strike zone is a little bit bigger, this is the presentation you want to use. You know, remember, we're talking about best behavior, conditions, presentation, and then if we were using a Texas rig, what presentation is going to match that? That's what it's all about. It's just not, hey, I'm throwing a Texas rig, I'm just going to willy-dilly throwing a Texas rig. There's presentations to a Texas rig that's going to help you catch more bass. What this channel's all about, son, helping bank anglers become better bass anglers. I'll tell you what, one of my favorite retrievals, you know, is kind of casting it out there. What I like to do with a Texas rig. It's a little bit combination of all of those. Really just depends on the behavior and the conditions. I like to pop it. I like to really pop it, pop, 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 pop. Let it sit. Bring a couple retrievals in. A couple turns of the reel. I fish a lot of hydrilla, and you can feel when it comes through that hydrilla, especially when you're kind of reeling it in. I just like to let it stop. Bait's coming through. Bass love those edges, those grass lines, and I'll just stop. Give them time to inspect. Pop, 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 pop. A lot of hydrilla, so I'll let it sit there. It just came through the hydrilla. I can feel it coming through the hydrilla. Trying to sit out there. Just a few retrievals. I can still feel it's in the hydrilla. That's the one thing I like about just the retrieval. Now I know how wide the vegetation is. You know, when you're going through, now I was like, okay, it's probably about 4 feet wide. Now I'm gonna pick it apart. And really, the one thing a Texas rig can do for you, pretty much more than any other lure, you can really pick it apart. You can pick apart vegetation, pick apart hydrilla. You know, as a bank angler, you know, a lot of people talk about punching. Unfortunately, that's very difficult to punch from the bank. You know, they'll pitch it in, they'll punch it, they'll bring it back out. That's extremely difficult for a bank angler. So really, it's kind of like that drag, hop, you know, work it through if you're fishing vegetation. But you really get an understanding of grass lines, how wide it is. You know, if you have a grass line, open water, and then more grass or more vegetation, really helps you determine reading behavior conditions about where they're going to be. And the great thing about Texas rig, you could pick that vegetation apart. You could pick on the back end, you could pick in the middle, you could pick it apart, you could pick on the edges. You know, that shake, you know, they're thick. Those big females are in that. I mean, they're buried in that hydrilla. Getting right in the middle of that hydrilla and doing a shake, a little hops, adding a couple variations of the presentations, it could be magical. But that's what a Texas rig's all about. And those are the presentations and the breakdown of the presentations on when you should be using those presentations. I love a Texas rig. I know everybody loves a Texas rig. It just catches bass. It gets it done all day long, son. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Special shout out to all my members. Always catching big ones, always getting it done. Greatly appreciate your support. I really do. It means more to me than anything else. Helps the channel grow more than anything else. If you're new to the channel, like the content, go check out the join. It says right there. It says join. It says join. Join the community. Become part of the family. Greatly appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe. This channel is all about helping bank anglers become better bass anglers. Yes, sir. My name's Greg. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Getting It Done Fishing.